17th century mathematics. Brief history.
In the 17th century, this century came to be known as the Age of Scientific Revolution. This period is one of intense activity and innovation in mathematics. Advances in numerical calculation, the development of symbolic algebra and analytic geometry, and the invention of the differential and integral calculus resulted in a major expansion of the subject areas of mathematics. Mathematics teaching in the 17th century, science had immensely benefited due to the discovery of new ideas in mathematicians. Mathematics attempted to explain the nature of the universe mathematically. Education became important in their curriculum as advances in the science continue. Unabated mathematics scholars studied mathematics in its pure form, while others used mathematics to advance concepts in science to apply mathematics in the inventing machines.
Mathematicians in 17th century mathematics. René Descartes.
Who is René Descartes? What was his contribution in the 17th century mathematics? René Descartes was a French philosopher, mathematician, and scientist who invented analytic geometry, which connected the previously distinct fields of geometry and algebra. He devised rules for deductive reasoning or rational scientific reasoning, devised a method for using letters as mathematical variables, and discovered how to plot points in a plane known as Cartesian plane. Descartes is widely regarded as the founding father of modern philosophy. He is well known for his line "Cogito ergo sum," or "I think, therefore I am," and also forging an important link between geometry and algebra, allowing geometrical problems to be solved using algebraic equations.
Pierre de Fermat.
Pierre de Fermat was born in Beaumont-de-Lomagne, France. He began studying civil law at the University of Orleans at the age of 18. He graduated from the university. He died on January 12, 1665 at the age of 57 in Castres, France. He was a great mathematician who contributed greatly to a wide range of mathematical topics. He was a driving force in the development of calculus. He independently co-invented analytic geometry, demonstrating how an algebraic equation can be described as a geometric curve. He co-invented probability theory with Blaise Pascal, and he made outstanding contribution to number theory. He had a copy of Arithmetica. He was inspired by this book to come up with a slew of new ideas, and he would use. Person might use a crossword puzzle or a game of Sudoku, scribbling ideas in the margins of the books. Fermat was particularly interested in the works of Francis Veta, a French mathematician who made significant advance in algebra. After studying Veta's work as well as Archimedes' treatises, the 21 years old Fermat made his first significant contribution to mathematics in 1629 with new methods for finding maxima, minima, and tangents. Fermat invented a powerful new method using what we now recognize as differential calculus and method for determining maxima and minima and tangents for curved lines, which was inspired by his study of Archimedean spirals and his work on parabolas and hyperbolas. Lastly, Fermat's so-called last theorem is his most famous work, though it is actually less important than the work described above. Fermat used words to write his equation because he was unaware of Thomas Harriot's invention of symbolic algebra.
Blaise Pascal.
Blaise Pascal was a French mathematician, physicist, and philosopher. Despite being chronically ill throughout mostly short life, he pioneered probability theory and other areas of mathematics. Blaise Pascal was born in Clermont-Ferrand in the Auvergne region of France in 1623. His mother died when he was only 3, and his father, a judge who was also interested in science and mathematics, eventually moved the family, including Blaise and his 2 sisters, to Paris, where he educated the children himself. Like his sister, Blaise showed extraordinary abilities even as a child. When he was 16, he wrote an essay on conic section in which he proved that if a hexagon is inscribed in a circle or other conic section, then the 3 intersection points of the opposite sides are collinear. In other words, they lie on the same line. It's an important result in projective geometry and became known as Pascal theorem. The line on which the 3 intersection points line is called the Pascal line of the hexagon. Pascal's name is also associated with the famous triangle of numbers, the Pascal's triangle, which he didn't discover, although he did an important work on it. Starting with number 1, each number in its subsequent row of the triangle is the sum of the 2 numbers directly above it. Most famously, Pascal's triangle determines the coefficient that arise in binomial expansion. This fact was known to the Indian mathematician and Bengali long ago in the 2nd century BC. Pascal was the first to write an entire treatise on the triangles, published in 1655, which he collected various known results about it and used this to solve problems in probability theory.
Isaac Newton.
Isaac Newton, also known as Sir Isaac Newton, was an English physicist and mathematician, acknowledged as one of the great brains of the 17th century scientific revolution for developing the concept of modern physics, particularly the law of motion. Who lived from December 25, 1642 at Woolsthorpe, Lincolnshire, England. Died at March 20, 1727 in London. He was the first to discover the infinitesimal calculus in mathematics. Infinitesimal calculus, or calculus of infinitesimals, is the mathematical study of continuous change similar to how geometry is study of shape and algebra is the study of arithmetic operations generally. One of the most single publications in the history of modern science was Newton's Philosophia Naturalis Principia Mathematica, Mathematical Principles of Natural Philosophy, 1687. It was considered to be among the most influential books in the history of science, and it dominated the scientific view of the physical universe for the next 3 centuries.
Gottfried Wilhelmlebnis.
Gottfried Wilhelmlebnis was born on July 1, 1946 and died in November 14, 1976. He was a mathematician, philosopher, scientist, and diplomat. He was a German polymath. In both the history of philosophy and the history of mathematics, he is a well-known figure. He wrote books on philosophy, theology, ethics, politics, law, history, and philology, among other subjects. Leibniz is one of the 17th century rationalists, and his work anticipated modern logic and analytic philosophy. His discovery in calculus made a biggest impact in the field of mathematics. Like his formula of solving differentiation, he uses to indicate infinitesimal increments, and also his invention of practical calculating machine, which is capable of multiplying and dividing and even extracting roots. Leibniz made a significant contribution to physics and technology, as well as foreshadowing concepts that would later appear in probability, theory, biology, medicine, geology, psychology, linguistics, and computer science. He also made contributions to the field of library science, devising a cataloging system that would have served as a guide for many Europeans' largest libraries while serving as an overseer of the Wolfenbüttel Library in Germany. Leibniz's contribution to this vast array of subjects were scattered in various learned journals, tens of thousands of letters, and unpublished manuscripts.
Conclusion.
17th century mathematics known as the Age of Scientific Revolution, where Great Plague occurs, there are still many great mathematicians who managed to provide information and continue to discover new ideas in terms of mathematics amidst the pandemic outbreak. These are René Descartes, Pierre de Fermat, Blaise Pascal, Isaac Newton, and Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz. On the other hand, in this era also where plagiarism is commonly debated between Newton and Leibniz. Nevertheless, both of them discovered calculus independently, but all the credits go into Newton, even though he published his work late against the work of Leibniz because of his strong connection in royal society. Moreover, they both had great contribution not only in mathematics but also on the other fields. Newton published his book named Principia, while Leibniz is a child prodigy and discovered binary systems.